by the former Conservative leader Iain Duncan Smith. Do you think she has got a chance of getting this through?
Not unless they do what was asked, which is reopen the withdrawal agreement and to change all those elements, including the backstop, so they're legally binding. At the moment, what you get is sort of protocols and suggestions like that, but the Court of Justice in Europe will dismiss those in 2 seconds flat, as it has done, for example, on the Charter of Fundamental Rights, when they got a protocol saying the UK would be out of that. We're now bound into it by court judgment. So it has to be bound into the texts of the withdrawal agreement. That's the sticking point, and I don't think the European Union has granted any of that at this particular point. I don't say they won't. I say right now, until we've been through this vote, I think they're not going to move very much.
So has anything actually changed in the past months since Mrs May pulled the original vote?
I don't think anything's really changed, because I think she's still talking to the European Union. I'm led to believe she hasn't had much back from them over the Christmas period. I gather she's talking to them again this week. But at the moment, nobody can detect anything new that's coming out. Now, if she's planning on pulling a rabbit out of the hat, the Prime Minister, good luck to her. Just let's hope it's not a dead rabbit, and that is actually a live and kicking rabbit, and it means something, because the DUP will certainly not back anything that leaves them in a separate state from the United Kingdom, which is where they are at the moment, with a kind of border down the Irish Sea. They won't accept that in any shape or form, and that opens the door to confidence motions. Should she end up having to face a confidence motion, would they support her? That's the real issue. So it's more fraught than people might imagine, because you have to get something substantial.
Are the DUP then the key in terms of getting more Tory MPs to back this? Are the DUP the potential game changer for Mrs May if she can get their support?
Well, they've been very categoric. If anything, they've even hardened their stance, I think, over Christmas, where they came out a couple of days ago and said categorically they would not accept anything with this backstop in it. But they've also tilted at another arrangement which leaves us very, very undefended, which is the state aid provisions. The Court of Justice is now using those to go for tax harmonisation. And there is a genuine fear that in the 2 years we would be in, that the UK government would be forced to harmonise its taxes much more with the EU, which then would stick, because that's the arrangement that we have there and after, no matter what arrangements we make. So there are other issues in here which have to be sorted out, but the backstop and the separate nature of Northern Ireland is an absolute no-no for them, and a no-no for most of my colleagues.
So if the deal goes down next Tuesday, is that the end of it?
Well, I don't think the end of it is until the 29th of March. So I suspect that what will happen is, if it goes down and is voted down, the Prime Minister will use that to say to the European Union, I told you so, you just haven't realised just how serious this is. We're going to have an arrangement where we don't make a deal with you, we will leave on WTO terms. You don't want that. You've made it clear you don't want that. We would rather have an arrangement. You better start seeing this is a reality, and therefore now we have to do some proper negotiation. And I think using that to get them to come to the table properly is the best hope that she's got at the moment.
Iain Duncan Smith, thanks very much.